What's up, YouTube? Whole lot of crazy shit going on today. Yeah, it seems to be the new normal. Every day there's something crazy going on. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I don't know what it is, but it seems like ever since the kids passed away, this whole world has taken a whole fucking hell ride. And for some reasons, the ones driving it seem to be benefiting out of every fucking thing. No matter what evil shit they do, they get it. And then they get praised for it. Guess that's one of the tests of the end times, huh? Watching evil and wrong be rewarded and not being sucked into it, right? Oh, yeah, this has been my fucking shit my whole life, man. I've always done the right thing, and then somebody around me ends up doing all kinds of crazy shit. Normally a female. I I'm walking around thinking everything's good, everything's right, don't have to worry about this, don't have to worry about that. Every time I've done that, these fucking women working on a alternative motive behind your back. How is feminism not against the law? I want to know that. So it's legal to lie, manipulate, and steal from a man or anybody? Huh, imagine that. In this satanic fucking country, no wonder. It's almost like the F boys have control of the country and they're just trying to manipulate women into coming to them. You ever notice that? These dumb bitches. All because they don't want to follow the rules. They want to make their own rules. Not a woman out there that says they believe in God should be doing what they're doing. And they fucking know it. Well, I think it's funny how they go to church and then they try to twist scripture. They try to use certain passages of scripture to say that they're allowed to do certain things and they're not. That's sorcery. You can't do that. Um, we're not the ones that put these rules into effect. You know that, right? And if you really look around at overall, you know, the majority of what this sex does as opposed to that one, you can see why. Also, notice that a lot of women are staying with men that have issues with supposedly money and all this other shit. Why do they do that? Oh, because they can skim off of it and then blame it on him. And he's going to agree to it because she's already gotten him believing that he's the problem with money. Even though if you really look real close to everything, it's this witch that wants this, and this. Or she's not happy. So where's it really come from? But you act like all women do. All women do that. Ladies don't do that. We've already talked about this. You see how when you're in an open conversation, you know women are going to say that. And that right there is a diversion. That right there is to let in benefit of the doubt and to manipulate the situation. Well, how do we know you're not doing that? Because everything I'm speaking of is facts. You can look at it yourself. The things they speak of is only apparent around them. Maybe. And a lot of the stuff they say ain't nowhere near the fucking truth. So, obviously, that would be why. See what I mean? People have gotten so used to fantasy versus reality, dude, they start believing fantasy. Just like the internet. Y'all have gotten so used to it. Some of the stuff you see on there, you take as reality and you start fucking doing it. Yeah, it's insane. Fucking insane. I used to think it was just me being mad at the world. That there were some things going bad and I was just pissed off at the world because of what happened to the kids. But no, that wasn't it. The world's getting worse and worse every second. I've also noticed that the moment we started, you know, really letting them take over everything is when all hell started breaking loose. Am I the only one to notice that? What happened in the garden when they had their chance to make their own decision? What did they do? They went after the one thing that they were told not to. Don't they still do that today? Yeah. Then they try and blame us for it. Well, if you were home, or if you spent more time, or if you, it's always something. It is never, I fucked up, my bad, and just let it go. Or, how do I fix this? You know what they hate hearing? You can't. They don't like hearing that. Wouldn't have to be fixed if you would have listened. But here we are. Yeah, the misogyny bullshit that women bitch about when they hear this kind of stuff, that's just a diversion because they know their shit is being aired out. That's all that is. And all of them do it as soon as you start talking about reality that doesn't make them look good. See, they want to go to this fantasy reality where they might have done something wrong, but it's not their fault. Or they should be let off the hook. Then they think that when you're supposed to forgive them for something, that it just erases it. They never did it. They're forgiven. It never happened. Blah, blah, blah. What the fuck are you doing here, dude? Where's mom and pop at? But yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, for some reason, my nephew that stops over and calls as hell just pulled over across the street and is just sitting in the parking lot. So, thought that was kind of weird. And why do you have your light on in the middle of the day? It's a four-door car with a light bar on the bottom of it, and he's got it on. And it's the brightest it can be. Yeah, that's what I thought. Keep rolling. Yeah, he's a piece of shit, just like his mother. I don't care. I hate them. I fucking hate them. And I hate them for reasons they know. Ain't like it's a secret. Can't fucking stand them. Oh, I'll tell you why. The lying piece of shit people that I used to fucking get in fights with in school is exactly who they became. Oh, yeah. Rising Sun would be proud of what they raised. Because they're a bunch of backstabbing motherfuckers. Always have been. Oh, but they expect you to put up with the bullshit that they do. See, I've never bought any expensive trucks like that. Have I had the money? Oh, yeah. And there goes Pop and Mom. What the fuck? Yeah, he's bugging Pop and Mom for more money. That's what he's doing. Yeah, that car, that brand new car that they got is about to blow up. Yep. They don't do oil changes on it. Well, they were, but they freaking wait forever. I try to remind them, but they don't listen. Fucking motor mounts all fucked up, trannies all fucked up, fucking windshields all fucked up, bodies all fucked up. Just like the other vehicle they had. I put a whole bunch of fucking work into it. Pop takes it out and hits something. Uh, Fuel pump is not going to fuck up the front end alignment, dude. Has nothing to do with the front suspension, bro. He comes in the house bitching that me working on the car is why he wrecked it, when it wasn't. It was the fact he wasn't paying attention and ran into a fucking curb, a car, and a ditch, and tried not to tell my mom about it. Mom comes to me and says, "You replaced the fuel pump on that, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, how does that have anything to do with steering?" I said, "It doesn't." "Why?" She's like, "Well, he said because of what you did on it, it caused the car not to control right." I said, "What?" I said, "First of all, you guys have never done any maintenance on that car. When you don't even change the brakes. I do that. I'm the one who tells you when your brakes need changed." And she's like, "Yeah, you've done work for us for a long time, never had a problem." I said, "I know. So what the fuck is this?" I mean, come on, you know cars. How the hell? That's the opposite end of the vehicle, for one, and for two, it has nothing to do with suspension in the back or the front. It's just dropping a tank, putting a new fucking fuel pump in, hooking up lines, and putting it back up there. This is what I mean. How he starts shit. And the only reason why he's been on my shit is because of Brian, his golden boy fucking grandson, that reminds him so much of him. Yeah, driving around drunk, getting your friends in trouble. Just because the cops wouldn't arrest you doesn't mean your dad didn't beat your ass. But oh yeah, obviously he didn't care about an ass beating. He didn't have anything put on his record for what he did. He would. He'd go out, get drunk, go out racing with his friends, know where the cops are sitting because of his dad, because he was a trucker and, friends with them, and because they had family in it. And he would set his friend up to get fucking pulled over and then laugh about it. And then the cop would tell his dad that he was with his friend, and then he'd get his ass beat and in trouble. Yeah, psychopath. Right. Yeah, I always thought this guy was way better than anybody mom had ever gotten with, which he was just good at being a liar. He was good at what he calls being cordial, which anybody else would call that fake, by the way. No, I hope you know all this crazy shit that's went on has always been done behind my back. It has always been done when I'm either at work or dealing with other things. That's when all of a sudden these motherfuckers do what they do. Gee, I wonder where they learned that from, my brother. What did you do? I was born. That was it. I was fucking born. The reason why me and my brother didn't get along was because he was a perverted fuckboy. And I didn't like that. Nope. I could not stand them motherfuckers at all. They were hanging out, being cool, not being little fucking perverted dicks. I could tolerate them for a little while. But I knew eventually I'm going to run into what the fuck you're doing and it's going to piss me off. Why? Because you make every fucking dude look bad. Every fucking dude. Well, these women do it to us. That's no reason to do it back. That's more reason to stay the fuck away from them and just work. I mean, so you're going to be sucked into a manipulative game where no matter what they do, they're going to win? That's stupid. This is how it always goes when I'm around this family. We need help. We need help. I give them all the help, all the money, all I can do. And behind my back, they're slowly destroying everything else that I had built. So that way, when I get done helping them and all that, I got to go back and fix every fucking thing that they fucked up. Yeah, I'm always being put in catch 22 ping pong ball situation. And then when I get mad and confront them about it, oh, I'm crazy. This is the whole reason why I didn't want to be with my family. This is why I moved out when I was 15. Well, you came back. Yeah, I had no fucking choice. There's shit going on at my parents' house. I come here to get a breath of fucking air and get back on my feet. And every fucking time, dude, I gotta like rip myself out of this fucking place because it's like a fucking vacuum for fucking disaster. It's like every fucking disaster thing that could possibly happen happens. Everything. It ain't will it happen. It happens. And it's because of what they set themselves up for. They've been here over over 30 years. Okay? And they have not done anything to this fucking house that was worth anything. Never redid the driveway, never redid anything. Never had it seal coated, never had it taken care of, nothing. Why, you might add? I'll tell you. Where they're at right now. Well, it is kind of hard to say something because my stepdad loves baseball. Okay? And even though he loves baseball, you still don't let something that you love as an extracurricular activity take away your whole livelihood. And that's what he's done. He would take John, which is my sister's son, the one that always gives us problems, and little Willie, which, because they fucking pretty much raised them, out to like Walmart or something and let them get whatever the hell they wanted. Well, why is that a problem? Gee, I don't know. Going out every other day, spending thousands of dollars on shit these kids don't need. What does that do to the kids? Right. Thank God little Willie is a worker. I still think he gets that from, it's got to be his grandfather, Evander. Because it damn sure ain't my brother. My brother has worked about as much as fucking Tiffany. Yeah. If you add up the years that they were capable of working, but didn't, as opposed to their age, how long they've been able to work up until what their age is now, compared to the years consecutively that they have held a job, even the ones they held for a couple of months, add them up, see if they equal a year, whatever, they still would not fucking equal close to the hours I have. Still. Not even fucking close. But every time they find out where I'm at or what I'm doing, everything in my life gets destroyed from behind my back. And then they run to mom. And then when I show up on the property ready to fuck them up, oh, there's a problem. Oh, this is neutral. Really? Well, it's better than putting charges on them. What's that going to do? Give them a way to weasel out of that too? We weren't taught to press charges on our family like that. We were taught to fight. Go out in the front yard and handle it. Jeez. And anybody in this world knows when you know somebody's done something and you fucking know it. I'm not talking about you just think it, you have a really good idea that you know it. And they're standing there smiling at you. Like, what you gonna do? You got to do something. Pressing charges, that ain't gonna work. Getting in fights with them, that ain't gonna work either. Why? Because they're gonna retaliate, even though they're the ones that did it. In their mind, they're mad at you for noticing and getting them in trouble. Or, letting it out. They don't really get in fucking trouble, but whatever. It took you guys doing all that to finally get a hold of me and put so much anchors on my life by hearsay? Wow. I don't think you guys understand how to fucking analyze reality anymore. Because it can happen right in front of y'all's face, and you guys are like, nope, I don't believe that. It just went down. Well, I didn't see that. Holy shit, man. Always been against witchcraft. I tried to stay away from things that were evil and found out that I was entertaining pagan holidays that had nothing to do with Jesus. And who's the ones that always try and get you to do that? The women. The moment you try to step away from it, they act like you're the most evil person in the world. It's not that you're evil. It's not that what you're doing is wrong. It's the fact that they don't get their way. And they don't get to go out and shop 5, 6 times a year as an excuse. They don't get to come to you and yell at you that they want money for this, they want it to go this way, and then they skim off the top of it and use it for whatever the hell they want. fucking ridiculous, man. Tiff did the same thing when I bought David a new PlayStation. And I did that because he got in an accident. I felt bad for him that he couldn't do nothing. The whole fucking time, this woman's been letting him on games and everything else, even though I told her that's why he's acting the way he is. That's all he does is play on that game. And it's you give him nothing but violent games. You don't give him anything that's not violent. Well, that's not it. Yes, it is. He's already been exhibiting violent nature in the wrong direction, and you're going to give him a video game that makes him want to fight and do bad shit. Are you stupid? Video games are bad. Yes, I know. We were already all hooked on them before we ever figured that out. I was slowly but surely trying to weed that out. Once Tiff knew I was doing that, she used it as a gift for doing bad things. Of course, not bad things that affect her, only if they affected their dad. And they did for, shoot, a couple of months. I couldn't get them to stop. They would do it every time they came over. And then, I don't know. One day we had a talk and they finally settled down. Well, the three did. Well, the two did. Nolan, he was always good. He was ornery, but he was still good. He wasn't hurting anybody or nothing. He just had energy. He was just hyper. That's not bad. It's a lot of work, but it's not bad. And eventually, all that's gonna, change. And you're not gonna have that with him anymore. Well, just like the older ones that were hitting teenager, you know. I warned David that once he started hitting certain ages, he was gonna be developing who he's gonna be for the rest of his life, and he needs to be very careful on who he turns into. You don't think Jazz and Kyle would have gotten the same talk? Yes, they would. So would Kirsten, Talon, and Nolan, because it's the truth. Bible says after 12 and around 12 and 13 years old, you are responsible for the things that you choose to do in God's eyes. Yeah. And that's what I was telling them. Well, no, earthly, we don't consider them, fully responsible until they're 18, but we do start staggering them into being responsible for what they do. And it does start around 12 or 13, and slowly but surely we start, really letting them in on what reality is. Normally, that's around 16 to 17, which I feel is a little late. Handling what life is going to throw at you. Not everything, of course. I mean, doesn't anybody else think it's funny? We accepted government to take over, and we thought that we were going to be able to be lazy and they were going to take care of security. Nobody sees that as the deception. I do. We're following laws that don't follow God's laws. Kinda, but not really. We're following a leader, one leader, that everybody acts like whatever he says, oh, that's what goes, whether it's wrong or right. Dude, And nobody figures out that when they started this is exactly what they had in mind. That's why they baby stepped towards it. This is also why ancestors back at that time would tell their family that if bankers or government showed up on the property, don't speak to them. Imagine that. Think that comes from the Bible? I believe it does. Well, Roman government was pushed by the Canaanites, aka bankers, money changers, to crucify him. Why? Because he was telling people about the money changers and the fact of what was wrong. So what did they do? They went around saying that, he believed he was God in the flesh because that's something that, the Roman government was going to try and take out. Yeah. Well, it's funny because those same bloodlines run the world today. Same thing. Colosseum and all the stuff that went on with the gladiators and the slaves still goes on today. It just seems nicer. Yeah, all they did was remove somewhat of the threat. Chariot races are drag races, Formula One, NASCAR. Well, that stuff's fun. Yeah, I never said it wasn't fun. I said it was bad. And yeah, I do believe this is why Jesus got hung on the cross. I think he knew 100% we were going to accept all that. And that's funny. Yeah, I was misled. I went wild. I did the same thing, and that's what taught me I was wrong. But why? Because I'm older, and this is what older people do. They pass that wisdom down. They stand firm on it. I mean, shoot. Everyone before us was told this by your ancestors. Did you listen? No. You did it your own way. That's why the world's so fucked up. Y'all thought it was better. Maybe at the time it seemed like it was. Wouldn't that be part of a deception? Yeah. Didn't God say that everybody was most likely going to be deceived? Looks to be that way, huh? I think it's funny that they're saying that the red writing and all that is Jesus's words and all this other stuff. Well, that's funny because I was explained that it was what they tried to change. And in some Bibles it's red because they're showing you what they tried to take out. Not the fact that that was only Jesus and all that. Because the whole Bible is Jesus. It's just people recording what they were supposed to. And that's another thing. These people were tortured for their belief in Jesus. And I mean tortured. Everybody says that, medieval ways of, judgment are so gruesome and inhumane and all this bull crap. No, it wasn't. What those people did to deserve that type of punishment, they knew they deserved it. Yeah, this is why everybody's so soft nowadays. They can't get it in their brain that this is happening to this person because they deserved it. Well, yeah, there's a lot of good people having a lot of bad things happen to them. Not that they deserve it, but you see how that Uno reverse card is used on that. Well, times have changed. Evil is taken over. Of course, it's going to want to make the people that would make a difference or put a stop to what they're doing look bad. And the other people go along with them. Why would they want that? Well, that way they can keep doing what they're doing. Fucking insane. I don't do these videos because I think it's going to miraculously change somebody. Hopefully, somebody hears it and sees. I just do it because it's what I'm going through. This is my life, whether I want it or not. That's one thing I've never understood about people. Life is what you make it. To an extent, yeah. Be careful of demons, though. They seem real nice until they're not. And a lot of these people getting away with doing all this heinous shit, and they're like, "Whew, must be all right, because even God's not paying me back." I don't think you fully understand what it means about it's the devil's time to roam. Yeah, if you're getting away with doing bad shit and all that stuff, it's because the devil wants you to think that you're all right. Most of the time, if you're in trouble nowadays, not everybody, but most of the time, if you're in some type of turmoil or trouble nowadays, it's normally because you're saying shit that people don't want out there, or living your life a way that they don't want other people to follow. Well, when you try to tell Christians, even though the Bible tells them Sunday is not the day of worship, they get mad at you. It's right there. I ain't the one that said it. He did. Back in the day when you used to give somebody truth that they didn't want to hear, they would get mad at you, walk off. But they used to do something in bigger numbers back then. Not everybody did it, but a lot of people did when they found out they were wrong. Just like with my life, the shit that people were trying to do to me, I had a good amount of control over it, and the devil just kept stacking it up, kept sending me people that had sinister plans. I never had sinister plans. All I wanted to do was work, play with my kids, and live my life. That's it. Pretty simple, actually. It's fucking insane, man. And, like most of these women that got their vote to push guys out of work, you know, that were highly qualified for what they're doing. Now they want to try and make fun of, certain men that aren't making as much money. You did it. This is the same thing as the freaking men in sports and women's sports. You all did that shit. We told you it wasn't going to turn out good. Then when we were right, you flipped it on us. We can't believe men did that. What? Men didn't do that. It's the same thing when they date somebody that they know does not act like a real man. Because they're all flabbergasted by him. Oh, he's a real man until he fucks you over. Then every man does that. Even I make a difference or a distinction between the two. Now, when I'm talking about a certain group, when I keep saying it, I'm talking about that group that does it. I'm not talking about the women that don't. They're ladies, or at least they're pretending to be. So I can't really say that certain ones are not because I've never seen anything other than, you know, them acting like that. That's how they get that. That's what I seen. That's what they get until I see otherwise. Okay. Now, I haven't seen many. I'll tell you that. It's just insane, man. Fucking insane. But once again, the good book said it was going to be this way. And you're not supposed to get sucked into it. As much as I want to hop in and fix it all, it's not going to do anything. It's not my place to fix. It's everybody's individual place to fix themselves so that shit stops. It's not up to people to force people to stop doing what they're doing. That's not going to do anything but create more problems. They're not going to stop. They might stop for a little while because they're pissed off at you, but now they're just going to do something ignorant to you and go right back to what they're doing. So all you did was take their attention off of what they were doing bad, put their bad attention towards you, and then they go right back to it. Just like with Charlie. He thought he was making a connection with some people. He might have, but there was a lot that faked it just to get closer and closer to him. And then what'd they do? Same thing they've always done. What's funny is that's exactly what demons do. Especially when you want to accept what they're doing. They'll keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Try and cause things around you to happen so it pushes you into what they want. Wow, imagine that. Isn't that what these gold digging feminists do too? Yeah. Isn't that what a lot of people from the hood or the streets do? Yeah. And what do they call it? Manifesting. Yeah, that's not how that works. Yeah, this around these people growing up around this family is where I got most of my PTSD crap from. That's what they call it. I call it being fed the fuck up with stupid shit. Not being comfortable with the reality of what people are doing. And yes, it's to a worser degree to people that are in war situations, of course. Unless they're cold hearted motherfuckers. I mean, yeah, that's what it does to you. It shocks you. That's the whole reason why when bad people do bad shit, they should be heinously treated for their crimes right in front of everybody. You want to do this? This is what's going to happen. You're not going to go to a jail and maybe have a bad time. But the way we handle it, it's way worse. It's what I don't get. Back in the day, if evil people went to a certain extent, you were supposed to shut them down. We don't do that. We give them jobs in freaking Congress. Yeah, the one guy that was a real short guy. He was like 4'9" or something, real small, and he fought to get in the military. Worked his way up through the ranks, became one of the top Green Berets. I mean, even him, you could tell that he was ready to fight some fucking people, and the stuff he had to do even got to him, and he seemed like, you know, I don't think anything was getting to that dude, but apparently it all did. What'd you fight for? To go do orders? To feel like a badass? For what? Because your government told you they were evil or bad people, right? But God didn't tell you that. You don't know these people. I don't know. That'll be his conversation with God on his day. All I'm saying is it don't look good. He warned us about deception, and people think, oh well, I can just play the I didn't know card. I don't. I don't think that's gonna work. I don't know. Pretty sure it's up to your heart. I I don't think it's up to any of that really. Well, yeah, God knows we're going to be forced to do bad things. He even says it. And a lot of us were going to do it thinking that we're doing it for a good reason, and we're not. Granted, they do get you with that got to stop evil in the bud scenario. That's how they get them to go on orders like this. It's all manipulation. You trust these people. You're trauma bonded to trust these people, even though a lot of them would take you out in a heartbeat. You got to keep your eye on everybody, and everybody's trained. Everybody's loaded. Yeah. Uh, that sounds like nightmare. That sounds like you can never, ever, ever be off your fucking toes. Not for 1 second. Even if you take a nap, you cannot be off your fucking toes. Because you just never know what's going to kick off. Yeah, you have people that snap in barracks all the time and go after people. Yeah, that shit happens all the time, man. Not to mention going to war and you did something right, come to find out everybody's mad at you for it. There was a thing that, got the situation to shut down, but if they felt a certain way or this, that, or way or the other way about you and what you just did, they'd talk to the higher ups and take your ass out. Yeah. I still haven't heard how he lost his life when he became homeless. He became homeless because I guess it felt more comfortable to him coming back from that type of lifestyle. Well, sometimes people get used to that, man, and that's what feels better to them. Funny how that's exactly how God basically wanted you all to be. Yeah, I know. I fell for it too. Oh, I don't have a problem doing that. Shit, I wouldn't have had a problem doing that when I was having a family. I wanted to live like that. They didn't. Did I push it on them? Maybe I should have, but I didn't. And it's the story of my life, man. People setting me up to get down for the shit that they do. It's okay though. There's one person that you will stand in front of, whether you believe you will or not. And good luck. Yeah, even if we forgive you, even if he forgives you, it doesn't mean he's going to let you out of that consequence. He might. What happens if you still have to serve your consequence? What about me? Oh, if I have to, well, I earned it now, didn't I? Whether I want to admit that or not, right? I've tried very hard, even when I became an atheist, not to do certain things. Because even without, following the Bible at that time, I still knew that things were wrong, and you just didn't do them. I don't care if I had a book telling me not to do it. I don't care if I had a whole group over here saying do it, and then a bigger group over here saying don't do it, or vice versa. I didn't care. I went by what my heart and body told me to do. Now, there are times I listen to people like my girlfriend and go out and do shit, and come to find out, the only reason she even wanted things done that way was so she could set herself up to get away with shit behind my back. Every time. I don't see why everybody thinks it's such a shock. You have plenty of dudes telling you. You think your boys will fuck you over? They will. Nowhere near like a woman. A woman will deliberately screw you the fuck over every chance she gets. Every fucking second that you are not there to pay attention, she is taking advantage of you. Not all women do that. I'm not repeating myself again about women and ladies. If you can't understand that yourself, you just need to shut up. There's a lot of females out there that are ladies, and they laugh at this and be like, yep, seen that shit. You know what the real men do when women are bitching about a fuckboy and calling him a fuckboy, not a man? We say, yep, that's what the fuck they do. Now, do you have other fuckboys that'll do that? Yes. Why? Because they seen it was a way that women get manipulated. So they will try the next string of trauma on that woman by doing that. Do you know what I've ever said to a woman that had just broken up with somebody recently and tried to rebound me? There was only one person I ever tried to ask out after they broke up with their boyfriend, and I never did it again. We were really good friends too. And she ended up breaking up with her boyfriend, and I liked her a lot. I thought we were really cool until I asked her out, and she told me that she believed that I was the one that broke her and her boyfriend up. And I'm like, what? I promise you on everything holy. No, I didn't. I don't do that shit. I'd rather see people happy. But I mean, it was middle school stuff, so, you know, I did. I thought she was a beautiful girl and she was cool to hang out with. I figured that was like idea. But never really went over the line or even thought that way after I knew she had a boyfriend. That part went away. We were just friends. That's all. I was friends with her brother too. And when she said that to me, I was shocked because I'm like, what? And that was my fault. They'd only been, you know, well, with a girl at that time, they take it very deep. So even though we're like, well, it was just a nothing relation, it's not nothing to them at that time. Yes, this is playing along with a type of fantasy, but it's also the mood and the mode that she's in. You know, it's kind of like, I hate to say a mental episode, it's an emotional episode. And depending on the person or, you know, how they're feeling in that mode, you can't bring them out of it abruptly, because if you do that, they act like that. They freak out. They are working through their emotion. And I was just too young. I didn't realize what I was doing. I knew she was upset. I figured I'd make it better. Yeah, did not. After that, never asked out a girl ever again. I've asked out two girls in my life. One was Jamie and one was her. Other than that, they asked me. Yep. Irene Whittaker, she was upset when we were in science class, and I had just gotten a book order from Goosebumps, and it had a whole bunch of Halloween stickers on it. It was around Halloween. But I know girls like to be called beautiful and pretty and all that. But I was reading these stickers. I'm watching her all upset. So I see the one that says beautiful. So I walked over and gave it to her, thinking it'd make her day better. Turned into, oh, you got a crush on her and you want to date and she wants to date. And I'm like, what the? Well, she's not a bad looking girl and she's not an asshole. So possibly I would. But no, I did not have that in mind at all. Not even close. So her friends keep bugging me to go out with her. And I'm like, okay, you know, dating. She gets mad because I can't come to a friend's birthday party. I forget what the hell I got in trouble for. I think I was fighting in school. But anyway, I wasn't allowed to go. Actually, you know what? I don't think I was in trouble. I think I just wasn't allowed to go because they didn't want to take me, even though it was right up the street. And normally, I can ride a bike, walk to town, rollerblade to town, all that shit, even though it's miles and miles away. But anytime I wanted to do something like this, I wasn't allowed. My brother and sister were, but I wasn't. Bullshit. My sister was maybe 2 years older than me. My brother was maybe 3, 4 years older than me. That was it. Yeah, so there wasn't that much of a difference. And not only that, they were the ones that would do all kinds of crazy shit. I just go out and play football. Maybe smoke a little bit of weed, but that was about it. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke myself into oblivion to where I didn't know where I was or what I was doing. I also didn't trust anybody giving me anything. Yeah, I've always used it as a, you know, buffer for ADHD. I never told people that. I just noticed that, you know, it slowed my brain down. And I'm like, cool, I can actually function a hell of a lot better. Then I start hearing, well, addicts do that. And then I'm like, oh man, there ain't no fucking way. I just started smoking this. There ain't no way I'm addicted already. Well, there's a difference in between, you know, being comfortable with something that works for you and being addicted. Now, addicted, you'll sell every fucking thing to get it. And I understand the position I'm in. Looks like that's what I did. I did not do that. The girl I was with had a pill addiction, had an alcohol addiction, which I thought we had handled. Turns out we did not. No, she knew before we even got together that I'm not, definitely not dating somebody that's on pills and drinking and all. I'm not doing that. And of course, I wish I had a GoPro because this girl jumping all over me. Oh, I'll stop, I'll stop, I'll stop. Did you stop? No. I trusted you on your word. Then I found out you were using. I got you help. I got you off of alcohol. And then you go and do all of it right behind my back. You don't warn me. You don't tell me nothing. You just go do it. Then I find out all the schooling and everything I'm paying for, you're not even fucking doing. Yeah, we let her stepmom, her dad, and her sister move in. And dude, again, I wish I had a GoPro. Yeah, I went out like my mom did every Valentine's Day. All the kids in the house got something. You know, it didn't have anything to do with that bullshit about Valentine's Day. It's just to make sure all the kids had something and were happy. I go out, I get my kid something, I get her little sister something because, she's like fucking 11, 12 years old. She's a kid. Her stepmom, I don't know if I feel comfortable with a grown man giving my daughter. I said, you are a sick bitch. Right to her fucking face. It has nothing to do with that. You're probably just jealous because you didn't get an MP3 player like she did. And she was whining about an MP3 player or an iPod or some bullshit. And I figured this would get her, something until her parents decided which one they were going to get her for whatever holiday. And I didn't have any plans of getting that. I just seen it and was like, I got music I can put on a thumb drive. I can handle that. So I grabbed it. She's basically going to be my little sister. Really? But this is how they try to turn something into something that it's not. Find out her stepmom's a pill popper. Find out her dad's a pill popper. Oh, no wonder you wanted them there. Then they finally get their place after all the bullshit they cause to hear. I'm the one paying for the place. It's all in Tiffany's name, though. Yeah, any dude out there knows exactly what she was setting up for. You know how long we were together? 4 years at that time. Right. So that means she was setting this shit up the whole time. Oh, yeah, you know what she used? Past traumas, past relationships. Made me believe that she was only acting that way because she was nervous. Yeah, right. Only nervous because you got caught. And I think it's funny because all the women today saying men don't do this stuff, men don't do this, men don't do that. They should know the sidewalk rule. They should know that. See, I did all that, even for Jen, Bethany, and Yvonne. Did it matter? Nope. Once they're bored of you, they don't care what you've done. They don't. And the mothers that raise these daughters to treat men this way, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. They're not. These are the same psycho women that did this to the men that they were with. Fucking insane, man. Fucking insane. Why do you keep talking about all that? Because this is half the world's fucking problem. That's why. And the people that know what I mean when I say what I'm saying, they know it because they've been through it. And notice I didn't just say men. There are ladies that's been through this too. Oh yeah. Kudos to you for not changing and becoming hardened. Good job. Ain't many of you, but good job. Shit's fucking crazy, y'all. You know, another reason why a woman will keep a man away from their child is because they know that every lie they ever told is going to be shown as a lie. And I get it. There are a lot of males out there that should not be around children. There's a lot of females that should not be around children either. There's way more females than there are men, though. Yep. But it's all good. I wasted my life for you so you could have the best of everything, and you run off acting like you were some type of hero. Like I said, stepping stone. You want to know why they ran off and did that? Because there's a lot of things I noticed that they were trying to do to be the one that benefited without doing any other work. And I slowly started cutting those things off and making them have to work. Oh boy, I'm such an asshole for that. Oh yeah. No, your parents should have taught you a good work ethic, not me. I gotta watch what I'm saying. There's a little one outside. Just noticed. That's all I need. You taught my kid how to say. Oops. Whatever,